What was that conversation like? Because, you know, there was a flirtation with the Dolphins that would have been just a small part of the franchise. And you mentioned, you know, the Chargers. When he says, hey, like he reads that article about Bum Bright, you know, I love that too. It takes me back, right? We're not always on our phones or whatever. You and your father, you're on vacation, and there he reads that article. Do you remember the first real conversation you had with him where he said,
Oh, well,
I want to buy the Cowboys?
absolutely. I was actually, we had been to a gas conference. I was just out of school. I was a chemical engineer and getting in the oil and gas business. And we had been at a gas conference in San Diego. And he said, hey, let's take a little day break. He said, let's go to Mexico. We went to Cabo, and he knew I liked to deep sea fish. He couldn't handle it because he got seasickness, so he let me go alone. And that's when he read the article. I came back, and he said, in the morning, we're going to Dallas. And I said, well, what's the reason for the stop in Dallas? Because we were based out of Little Rock and Fort Smith. His oil business was, and he was in the process of selling it. He was going to sell his production and everything, and knew he was going to have some money at this point versus where he was at 22 when he was trying to buy the Chargers and borrow all the money. But he said, we're going to go through Dallas. I just read where the Cowboys may be for sale, and I want to stop through there. And he said, this will be a good little learning experience. And I'll never forget meeting with Mom. And he said he was going to sell the team. I don't think he gave Jerry a lot of credence at the moment, but I'll never forget that. And then, the rest is history. We started proceeding to buy the team. And but he read about it in Mexico and Cabo San Lucas, and went through Dallas on the way back. And before we knew it, we owned the Cowboys, and I thought I was going to spend my life in the oil fields being an engineer and drilling gas wells, and ended up doing contracts and being a part of the Cowboys and selling suites and sponsorships, and never would have thought that was going to be my storyline. But and I'm sure Jerry and Charlotte have I'm not sure. I know they have a similar story, but a great run there.
You know, and one of the best, but by the way, you're a great son on his birthday, to not mention what he has mentioned before is that he was hungover, right, in Cabo. That's why he stayed. That's why he stayed back. So you're
he was.
Yeah, you're
We've been to the old giggling marlin, and he was being a good father, teaching me how to hang upside down like a marlin and take tequila shot.